And to be honest, I didn't know people streamed on YouTube. I
Ah,
didn't know people made those videos. I didn't really watch YouTube whatsoever. So I thought it was kind of interesting, learning about geeks and gamers, learning about Nerdrotic, just even online streamers and people watch people game. Like, what?
yeah.
What? Gary has been a huge fan of Art Bell
Okay,
back in the
awesome.
days. So he would be listening to the show. And I mean, he also read like a lot of books and was very into UFOs and following all that. So he's been in it for 30 plus years. And he's always wanted to do a show like, Forbidden Frontier. Don't take something that people have loved for 30, 40 years of their life and change it to make it your own, to make a modern perspective and not honor what had come before. Are they real? I mean, I'm a skeptic always, but if I learn the scientific approach on how the valence electrons do the jump in order to, people will probably love it. I do have cowboy boots now,
Nice.
thanks to a visit to Texas.
Did you just go to Texas recently?
If I had a word to say for my future, I diversify. I want to be able to do a lot of different things. And what those things are, I don't know 100%.
Yeah, but I just kind of do that. Don't worry about it. I'll cut out anything weird. I just
okay.
I wanted to hear that again. So you're crocheting because why?
Apparently people like to buy blankets that you've personally crocheted and possibly took a nap in.
Interesting. and it also gives you something to do?
It gives me something to do while I'm watching videos and whatnot, so I'm not on my phone, because as much as I like my phone, I use my phone a lot for work, and you gotta do what you gotta do. But working on it slowly but surely.
Nice, very cool. I my how I'd stimulate my finger dexterity is with playing video games, but I'm not.
Well, me too.
I'm not like a modern gamer. I'm a retro gamer.
Oh, what do you play on?
Well, sitting around me right now is like 12 different retro consoles. I have
so cool.
Yeah, I have thousands of cartridges for Sega, Sega Genesis, NES, Super Nintendo, all the Nintendos. I got PlayStation 1 through 4 in here. I don't really play online like you do the whole online streaming thing, but
yeah.
It's more of a collection thing for me. Do you do any collecting of games?
No, well, I don't really have a lot of space here, but I want to collect just like exercise games, because I really loved DDR back in the day, and like with VR, there's so many games you can play, but it's all digital, mind you, for that. I'm like, I kind of want to get the Wii Fit, the Nintendo, I forgot what it's called, the Ring.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
So it would be kind of fun to kind of incorporate that into some sort of collection. Will I actually stream those? Probably not. Maybe DDR. I find DDR so fun.
I think I'm terrible at it, but I think that streaming DDR would be a good move. I think people would enjoy that.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I used to be a dancer, so it will bring that little bit of an aspect back for me, but not 100% the same.
Right, right. Yeah, you wear a lot of hats. You've done a lot of different things, so that's part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on the show.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, a little all over the place.
yeah, I like that though. Renaissance gal of sorts, right?
Mm-hmm. All for fun, for the most
Yeah.
part.
Well, if you're not having fun, then what the hell are you doing here, right?
Exactly. Okay.
We do have Brittany, our producer, on the show. Mike's out of the office today, and I figured it would be fitting to have our producer on the
Okay.
show as well today. So she's going to be like recording with us, if that's all right.
No, that is more than fine.
Very cool. So I kind of want to start with this is typically a biographical interview that kind of leads into your work. I became familiar with you through the Forbidden Frontiers thing you guys are doing with Nerdrotic because I'm into ancient alt history and science and things like that. So that's how I first learned about you guys within the last couple of years. But I found out you're Canadian. I am also Canadian. I'm a dual citizen of Canada and the US, but I grew up in Nova Scotia. You're from Ontario somewhere?
Yeah, Toronto.
Toronto, like you lived in Toronto proper, grew up
Yeah,
there?
born and raised. So
Nice. So I don't know if you probably work with a lot of Americans and stuff like that, and Americans have like sort of a funny idea, like caricature of like what a Canadian is, with like certain kind of stereotypes and stuff. Do you ever come across like
yeah,
hilarious stereotypes?
that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
But what's funny is there, certain country areas have that, but when you go to Wisconsin, there's certain little small areas and pockets that actually sound like Canadian. We have a friend, Jeff, who I went to Peru with Wandering Wolf when he did the tour there, and he legitimately sounds like he could be Canadian, just in the wrong place.
Yeah, I've actually had people mistake. I've been in the U.S. for over 20 years, but in the beginning, I've had people mistake me for being from Wisconsin before. So yeah, I've come across that. When I first moved here, it was like I joined the army and I was off to basic training in like 2 weeks. So I had a thick Nova Scotian accent, and so people would like give me crap about it all the time, like just in a joking way, but. One of the things that like anybody ever ask you like dumb questions about being Canadian? Like, for example, somebody once asked me who the king of Canada was, and I told them it was Wayne Gretzky. And then they were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And they were serious.
I mean, we have a monarch, but not in Canada.
Correct.
And technically, yes, I guess we do have a king right now.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, so are you in the military in Canada or the States?
No, I was in the U.S. military, and I've been out for like 13 years. So
how I know you're from Canada was basically you called it the army, whereas they always call it military. Down in the States.
Yes, and there's a certain way. I didn't know this at all, but there's a certain way Canadians say army, or like they ARM, like
army.
So anything that's like AR, we say it
Arr.
weird. Yeah, like it's like that. But I don't even notice it. I do not hear it at all.
Me neither.
Yeah, you don't have a strong Canadian accent though. That must be because you're from Toronto. The big cities typically don't.
No, and I've hung out with a lot of Americans, and one of my friends, he said I have a sympathetic accent where if I hang out with a lot of like British, Southern, or Australian, I'll tend to adopt the accent somehow.
I've never heard that. So this actually came up with an Irish guest we had on the other day. If I spend 10, 15 minutes, or more like a couple hours with somebody with a different accent, I'll start talking like them too. I just never knew there was a condition called sympathetic accent.
I don't know if it's a condition. It's just the phrase that he had coined. And I'm like, I love this. This happens to me all the time. So
it happens to me too. When I go back to Canada, within 20 minutes, I'm talking like a Nova Scotian, but I'm kind of all over the place because I was in Nova Scotia, then I was in Iowa, then I was in the Army for a while, then I was in California, now I'm here in Georgia. So I'll say like y'all and a in the same sentence sometimes. Yeah.
Maybe you're from Alberta at that rate then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've never actually been the furthest I've been is Toronto, like from west in
Mm,
Canada. So I've never actually been to the western coast of Canada. I got to get over there.
the beef is good there.
Is it?
Steaks.
The steaks are good.
Hmm.
I did not know that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh, at least in terms of Canadian, you know, meat products. So
Cool. I'm gonna look into that. I definitely am going to bring my wife there eventually, but we'll probably go to like Seattle and then drive up to
oh my God,
Vancouver
dude,
and
go
check
to
it out.
the Calgary Stampede if you can.
Okay, so my niece does horses. She's huge into horses, and I've always wanted to go to the Calgary Stampede anyway.
Hmm.
For those of you who don't know, it's like the biggest rodeo festival in the world, and my niece really wants to go. So, have you been to the
No,
Calgary
I
Stampede?
want to go so bad. I've just been
Yeah,
so busy.
yeah. Well, did they do it every year or every 2 years?
Every year.
Every year, and it's just
Yeah.
massive. So yeah, I definitely want to do it too. I think you should do it and get a little content while you're
Oh
there.
my gosh. People will probably love it. I do have cowboy boots now,
Nice.
thanks to a visit to Texas. Um, they're
Did
so
you
comfy.
just go to Texas recently?
I think the last time I was there was February, March.
Ah,
So I'm there often because Gary lives there. That's his like main operation base.
in Austin or
San Antonio.
San Antonio? Okay, I
Mhm.
love San Antonio. I spent like 2 years there in the army, so
So
I,
gorgeous.
it's gorgeous. And I was young and in the army, so we would like hit the river walk hard. Have you ever done that?
No, I feel like I'm too old to go like partying.
River walking?
River walking, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, when we're there, we basically work a little bit of a lot of bit of food, the good
Hmm.
good food, and
I
then
know.
Comic Cons. So
Got it. I got it. All right. So let's kind of start from the beginning. You grew up in Toronto. What was just early life like for, should I call you Shoe or X-Ray Girl or X, or what do you like
all
going
of it,
by?
I will respond to all of it. Let's see. So my parents are immigrants to Canada.
Hmm.
They had a small business, and I basically was put in so many different hobbies because they wanted to give us the life that we couldn't or they didn't have growing up in Vietnam. So I was doing things like karate, gymnastics, skating, dance, competitive dance, piano, soccer. So I was a very active kid. And then into high school, I was in an art school, so then I started doing that mainly for the dance component, stopped doing competition, and eventually, I told my mom, like, "I kinda wanna learn a trade." She had done aesthetics when she was changing over from the small business to where she is now, in massage therapy, but,
Hmm.
she did aesthetics in between. I'm like, "If they take me, can I go?" And she's like, let's see." And I did, and I started working in aesthetics in high school. Uh which is
Neat.
crazy to have a job that is not a normal high school job, which, but grocery stores, uh, department stores, that sort of stuff. Oh, service industry. I'm glad I skipped that, to be honest.
Yeah. So it makes sense then that you wear a bunch of hats now because you've been wearing a bunch of hats since you were a kid, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that was the fun part about it. I think I didn't appreciate it as much as I probably should have at the time. I mean, you're a kid. You're very very coned in view of life, and all of that pretty much culminated to where I am now with like organization, time management,
Mm.
and just activities. So
Right.
yeah.
I want to get into that part about the organization and time management. I know that must be a big part of your job, but what kind of, you said competitive dance? I've known and
Yeah, like
dated
think
a
of
lot of
dance
dancers. What
moms.
kind? Okay, what dance moms? What kind of
So
dance?
uh ballet, tap, jazz, acro,
Wow.
um hip hop, lyrical, and there's videos like that I have. I just haven't transcribed from like VCR or video cassettes to DVDs,
Hmm.
and I'm kind of scared because I don't want to see them at the same time I do. They're so cheesy.
You should get a VHS and an old TV and just hook it up and take a look.
Oh, I have them. I do.
Ah,
I just haven't pulled the gun to do that. I probably should. It's super easy to do.
I think you should do on your episode on your own YouTube channel just like a little compilation of like
Oh my
old Shoe doing the progression.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, my mom wasn't like a dance mom, thank God. She would
Hmm.
come with me and she'd support me. She wasn't like the crazy one being like, "Go, oh my God, do it."
Hmm.
Living her life through me. But yeah, those were insanely fun times. You have a lot of camaraderie with like your friends, the girls in the group, and there were
Hmm.
some guys as well, but very few dudes in dance.
Hmm.
And then very few straight dudes in dance too. To
Yeah.
add that on there. But yeah, I think having dance 3-4 times a week in the evening and then on Saturdays really probably solidified at least the organizational aspects, because you have school, and then on top of that I was doing piano and trying to put practice in between all that. It wasn't easy.
Right. With all those different hobbies you mentioned, martial arts and etc. Was there any one of those ones where you were like, when you were younger, you're like, this is the one, I'm going to do this forever?
Oh, it was dance, and then I found out how much dancers make, or
Ah,
like how hard it is to be a top dancer.
yeah.
And yeah, let's just say I didn't want to get into that.
It's supposedly pretty like cutthroat competitive too, right?
I already knew I have a long torso, short legs.
Mm.
And my body shape once I reached puberty was like, yeah, that you're not going to be a dancer.
Yeah, and
Plus
there's
too
also
short too.
there's that aspect of like criticizing like your body and stuff like that's rough on dancers as well. So yeah, I'm glad you got out of that. But it sounds like you really enjoyed it as a kid and you learned a lot
Oh,
from
I
it.
loved it so much. So much. And I mean, I continued it on a little bit into kind of like my early to mid 20s. My friend who I was in school with asked if I wanted to go to a salsa class, and I was like, "Okay, I'll try salsa dancing." And then I did that for a few years. And, like helped teach and uh did some performing, but it wasn't on like a competitive basis. It was just for fun.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
Can you still sit down at a piano or a keyboard and like hammer something out, or is that
Kind of
gone?
maybe. I got to I don't think they have this in the States, but Royal Conservatory of Music.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I finished grade 9. So I had
Mm-hmm.
just 10 and then the ARCTs to do.
Got it.
But let's just say I quit because I didn't want to do it anymore as a kid.
It's a lot of work.
Mm. But I could have been teaching at a good level if I did do that. I just very short-sighted, I suppose.
Got it. I just want to translate for our American audience. Grade 9 means ninth grade for the Americans. It's FYI. It's just one of those small differences where you can spot a Canadian. If they say grade 9, that
Oh, I
that
had
means they're
no idea. Oh my
Yeah, yeah,
God.
yep. No, Americans say ninth grade. You're not going to find an American that's going to say grade 9. They're going to look at you weird.
Oh my God. They say sophomore and freshman, and I'm like, I don't understand that. It's something at high school. It's fine.
Yeah, I still don't get that. They also do their high school is. Did you know that their high school is 4 years instead of 3?
Wait, your high school is 3 years?
Yeah, no. Mine was 3. It was
Mine
10,
is
11,
4
and 12.
years.
Yours was 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Ah, maybe they
Maybe it's an
changed it.
maybe it's an
Maybe
Ontario versus Nova Scotia thing.
Maybe, but
Maybe.
I know that high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th grade for me. So grade 9, ninth grade for you Americans was
I
like
had no
still junior
idea.
high. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask my Nova Scotian friends now too if they had 3 grades versus 4.
I would. I'd appreciate you letting me know. I'm old, so I'm not that old, but like I think they may have just changed it nationwide, or maybe it's strictly an Ontario thing. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask about the plushie thing. Did that start? Did the plushie thing start as a kid, or did you get into that later?
As a kid, I've always had plushies. I used to when I was in my childhood bedroom. I had a queen bed.
Mm-hmm.
One side of the bed was just all plushies, and I'd sleep on the other side.
That's hilarious.
I'm yeah. And it's only gotten worse now that it's actually like, online, because now I have like more Hello Kitty than I could even imagine. Like even on this desk, I have 3 different plushies here. I have plushies behind here, behind the curtain, plushies over here. So it's all over the place.
So it's a plushie collection. It's a full-fledged plushie collection.
Yeah. And my original office, if you ever see it, it slowly grows as I get more and more and more. I have to cinch it up a bit somehow or find more space.
Yeah, but then you'll have to get rid of the plushies, and that
Oh,
would be just
I'm not.
awful. Yeah,
I'm not getting rid
don't
of
do
them.
that. Yeah, don't do that. In dating or relationship, is it weird to have plushies in your bed? Do you have to like explain this to your you know what I mean?
They have to accept it, otherwise. I mean, I don't sleep with that many plushies now. Like maybe like Togepi, it's like the perfect size for like holding
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
when I sleep, but I don't really have that many on my bed.
Okay, it's not.
There's no need to explain.
Got it. Okay, I was just imagining your like 13-year-old bed. You said you had a
Oh
whole
my
side
god.
for them, so I was thinking like, well, geez, like how does that affect
Oh my god.
relationships?
My mother would never allow me to have boys over. Oh my gosh.
No, no, I don't mean then. I mean now. In my head, I had like I imagined you still having like a bed full of plushies.
Oh my god.
It
Uh if that ever happens, I'll let you know.
appreciate it. It just seemed like something that you might have to like be upfront about, you know?
Well, the weird thing with dating is I um I don't know if I would date like someone who's outside the world or inside this world. So they would, if they were in this world, they would know what they're coming into at the
Sure,
very
for sure.
least. Uh Outside the world, I might have to do a little bit of explaining. A lot of bit of
Right.
explaining.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just gonna admit something right now. I don't have plushies, but like I do have a thing for like so I support the World Wildlife Fund, the WWF, which is not
Okay.
wrestling. It's WWE is wrestling now, but the World Wildlife Fund I donate to every year,
Okay.
and they send me like a stuffed animal of my choice. So I literally have like 15 stuffed animals like in and around my
That's
room for the last
adorable.
15 years. And yeah, I just didn't want you to think I was giving you a hard time. I got the same thing going on. So just
It's
FYI.
all about context. Yours
Yes.
yours is like actually adorably sweet, whereas mine's just like, I like cute things. That's it.
That's adorably sweet too. I just I started doing that a long time ago, and like you can pick like which like animal you want to get.
That's
So I
so
always go
cool.
I always go with like the one that like is the most endangered, and then like I get it. So yeah,
Oh.
there's a whole thing going on there. I did have to explain that to my wife when I met her, and now she's totally in on it. Now
Oh, I
now
love that. I
now it's
love
like a
that.
whole thing. Yeah, yeah. So I've heard you. So and looking into, like I said, I knew you from the Forbidden Frontier portion of Nerdrotic, and then I
Mhm.
started looking into. I was like, holy shit, she does all these other things, and she's got her own YouTube channel. Um, I've read that you describe yourself as a normie turned gamer. Is that like how did that? Can you explain that? And then how did that lead into like becoming like a key part of Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers, all that stuff? Can you walk us through that?
So in the end of 2019, 2020, I met Mark, and we started dating, and he introduced me to this online world. And to be honest, I didn't know people streamed on YouTube. I
Ah,
didn't know people made those videos. I didn't really watch YouTube whatsoever. So I thought it was
wow.
kind of interesting, learning about geeks and gamers, learning about Nerdrotic, just even online streamers and people watch
Hmm.
people game. Like, what? This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what? It's crazy. And then slowly I started playing games with Geeks and Gamers. They have or they had their Sunday Mario Kart stream,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's what 12 players.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were down a person, I would join on Discord and talk with them and play, and that was fun. And I think it was Krista Nova. She's like, you should start your own gaming streams. Like, I think you would do really well. And so she helped me set up just doing gaming. And shortly after, Jeremy had asked me to help out with a Geeks and Gamers stream, their gaming stream back then. And he had asked for just like timestamps, like, talk about this topic from this to this and this to this time. I might have been a little overboard.
Mm-hmm.
So topics say Xbox, I'll be like, okay, Ryan and Jeremy fought from 21 minutes and 5 seconds to 24 minutes and 3 seconds. And then like he was like, it's overly impressive. You don't need to do that, but like very appreciated. So I did that for a couple streams. And then when Gary was looking for a producer, Jeremy had recommended me to
Cool.
him, which is insane because I mean, I was just doing this for fun. I was an X-ray tech by day/evening/night/weekends because
Right.
we work 24/7, and trying to balance the two. And I mean, I've slowly transitioned from being an X-ray tech full time to doing this full time, and I freaking love it. I love this world so much. And I mean, gaming. I never thought I would get into gaming. Like I did a little bit when I was a kid, N64,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Mario Kart, Mario Party, maybe a little Tekken here, Mortal Kombat type of gaming, but it wasn't like intense. I wasn't
Right.
doing it every day. Uh, and then, yeah, really got into it, play it almost, well, when I'm not busy, but play it every day. And I'm really happy for it because it does work on your brain. Like my brain
Mm-hmm.
feels like it's actually solving puzzles and timing and whatnot.
Right. So nobody gave you like a handbook or like was like, here's how to be a producer for a live stream. You just kind of
Oh
dove
no.
in.
Let's just say Gary and we figured out my role freestyle.
Got it.
So I just say I am like I'm a producer, assistant, and whatever else is needed.
That's cool. Yeah, our own Brittany can probably relate a lot to that, right, Brittany?
Yeah, it sounds like a similar story to mine.
Oh yeah. And I
I have
mean,
no idea. We just kind of go with
yeah,
how
yeah.
whatever they need.
And you never know what ends up being. Like I got a call from Gary. I guess he was out and he couldn't request this. So he's like, can you message so and so for this and that? And I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'll make sure that happens, and you know, whatever I can do. And I think having also a really good team with Lady Gravemaster, Garrett, Perry, Melissa was is really like amazing. We just seem to work well off of each other. And work independently too. I think that also is a huge thing I really enjoy is that they're not micromanagers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to feel like I'm always being watched in that sense, but
Right.
we have an understanding. Sometimes we need talks, but it's not very often.
Cool. Yeah, when we first started this show, I knew that I was going to need a social media presence. I just really don't like social media, like
Oh, me too.
personally. Yeah. I just don't like engaging with it a lot. And I've known Brittany for a long time, and I just asked her one day. I was like, "Hey, do you want to do the social media part of this podcast?" And she didn't even know anything about the topics we were covering. We've really like red pilled her on all of our topics pretty hard. I red pill's the wrong word, but like she's just like you, didn't know anything about the world that I exist in. And then it started out. She was managing our Facebook, our uh, Instagram, and our X. And then it slowly turned into, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you help me with that? And then she started doing the timestamp thing as well.
Uh-huh.
And she just really assumed a role that was much more than media manager. That's why we called her. Eventually, she was like, "I think you guys need to call me a producer because I'm doing a lot more than managing your social media."
It sounds like a very similar start for sure, and you just, as I like to call it, fill the gaps in between, and think for not in a bad way, but like think in advance for the show, for people and whatnot, because you never know what opportunities might come up from it.
Yeah,
So
well, it's funny you're saying this because Brittany is just so wonderful. She's doing that. She does that every day. She's like got new
Aw.
ideas, and she's like, hey, I was thinking about this for this guest and this for that guest, and yeah, it's just so helpful.
Thanks.
Definitely. And she's wonderful too. I always liked when she like popped in and be like, "Hi."
Yeah,
At Cosmic Summit.
yeah, I wanted to talk about Cosmic Summit a little bit, but we'll get there as I go through all the other stuff you do. So, um, was there like a defining moment where you were like, okay, no more X-ray tech, I'm going all in, or did it just kind of happen gradually?
It happened gradually. So, I mean, I was a full-time union job, working on my hours, working on my seniority at the hospital I was at. I was so happy when I got my full-time job, with benefits and my
Yeah,
pension and
it's
whatnot.
huge.
So when I started seeing better income with the online stuff, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go part-time and see how
Hmm.
this is. And then slowly the job got more demanding and more demanding. And I mean, I love my job. A lot of my coworkers really helped me out a lot, like switching shifts so that I could accommodate for my schedule. Also, I ended up taking a lot of shifts I didn't like night shifts, because like FNT would end at 9 and then I would go to work
Mm,
at 11, begrudgingly, but it was fine. And then when I started almost making almost full-time money equal to maybe where I was, like there was a gap. There's a little
mm,
gap, and I was like,
mhm.
"You know what? I think that if I put enough energy in that, I can go casual at work and um whatnot." And then I made that jump completely, and that was so, so, so scary because I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to pay myself, enough, to live. And then on top of that, like, I ended up needing to quit at some point, and now I do work at, like, a little clinic. It's very good. It works with my schedule, and they love me, I love them, and so that my hours aren't as demanding as it used to be. I don't like working night shift. I don't miss it. At least
Yeah.
the energy. I love how quiet it is,
Hmm.
but, let's just say being awake all night sucks.
It's not good for you. You live in a totally different universe as everyone else. I worked night shift at a like a large state mental health hospital for like 2 years,
Oh,
and it's
good.
like a totally different universe. And
Mhm.
I just didn't even exist. I don't think in the same dimension as everyone else
Oh,
around me.
good. And your sleep is so thrown off. Like,
Yeah.
I found I liked sleeping right when I got home, and so, uh, I know a lot of my coworkers with kids, they do that, and then when the kids come home in the afternoon/evening, that's when they're awake before they go back to work.
Got it. Got it. So you're still doing X-ray stuff, just at a small clinic,
Yes.
and that's good that they're nice and flexible for you.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
said it's close to you as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, and, I've never really had a job that I hated, at least with X-ray, so
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky that
Mm-hmm.
everyone's kind of been nice,
Mm-hmm.
kinda like on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. Everyone I usually meet is very nice.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I've mostly run into that as well. Not X is a little different. There's some mean
Oh,
people
well,
on
I
X,
mean,
but
the Avatar people, we can't count that.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So I had a friend, a Vietnamese friend I went to school with in middle school and high school in Nova Scotia, and his parents sacrificed a lot for him to come to Canada and like that kind of thing. So his parents were very like demanding and very like,
Doctor,
you must go to school. Correct.
lawyer.
Yes. So were your parents like that at all, or?
Yeah, but I think I was the I will say in school I was the one that was excelling comparative to my brothers, so I don't think they were really worried about me in that aspect. I think they
Uh-huh.
were happy that I got into X-ray and that it was a well enough job. Were they happy about this job? I think they were indifferent. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
like, we trust your judgment. You know, just if you need any help, just ask. And I mean, I haven't really needed help in that like sector. So that's been good. My mom just says, I work too hard. I work too much. Baby. But part of it, like even when we're talking about the blanket, I mean, I can consider that work, but it's fun. I can consider gaming work, but it's
Mm-hmm.
fun. I can
Mm-hmm.
consider talking like this work, but it's also fun.
Yeah, so it's not as demanding on you emotionally or physically if like you're doing it because it's fun, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with X-ray. I enjoyed hanging out with my coworkers. Yes, it was work, but I also like this overarching theme that I might be helping people through some of the darkest times in their life. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely playing a role in that for sure as an
mhm.
X-ray tech. People are so vulnerable when they're coming in there, and a lot of times they don't know what they're what they might see and stuff like that. They're looking for answers, so
Mhm.
you've got to have a certain type of personality for that. I've had a lot of injuries and surgeries from sports in the military, so I've been radiated so many
Oh my
times I can't
gosh.
even count. And it's always nice and comforting when there's like a really nice, pleasant tech in there. If it goes a long way, I will say that you should feel good about that because it goes a
Thank
long
you.
way.
Bright, happy, and bubbly.
Yeah, and just and comforting and that kind of thing. Because you're like it's like a kind of a cold. You're in like a cold, like sterile environment, and
Dark
you're like,
room, and you're
yeah.
like, ooh.
Here, wear this lead vest while I zap you. So it's a vulnerable thing. So, um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, uh, I wanted to sort of move into, I guess, Nerdrotic does a bunch of different things.
Mhm.
One of them is the pop culture stuff with the geeks and gamers, as well as the Friday Night Tights. Um, I'm adjacent. I'm interested in that stuff, that
Uh-huh.
that world, like, but I'm not like all in it. Like, if I go see like a new Superman movie or a new Star Wars movie, it doesn't ruin my week when it's not that good. But there are some people who take that really seriously, and I was just curious, like, for you, is that like getting involved in that world, and like it's sometimes it can be very polarizing. People are like, I hated that one, no, I like that one, and that kind of thing. What is that like for you?
Well, I've never really let people's opinions kind of dictate, especially when I don't, not to say value them, but they don't, I mean, a significant portion of life to me.
Sure.
So if it's like friends and family that have the opinion, or like my close friends, then I will consider that opinion. But we can all have different opinions on things, even if like, for example, Jurassic Park came out last week.
Mm-hmm,
We
mm-hmm,
watched the fourth movie, Jurassic Park Lost World, the one with
mm-hmm.
Chris Pratt. I
Yep.
actually like that movie. Is
Me
it a good
too.
movie? Probably not the greatest. It's definitely not as good as the first.
Of course not.
Um,
They never
and
are.
like Gary was like, I hate it. I'm like, that's fine. I can like a bad movie. And
Yeah.
I like a lot of bad movies. But doesn't mean that they're good if I like them. Like objectively. Subjectively, I like them. So uh but pop culture, I've gotten to know more about it because I mean the closest thing I can think of is I saw the seventh Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't watch past that. I actually had no idea at the time what my mind was thinking as to why I was so I guess not interested in Star Wars. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with Marvel. I watched it, Endgame, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a happy ending. I don't want to continue. And
Hmm.
then when you hear about some of the things that maybe your mind didn't register as to why you were maybe not interested in the future stuff, the stuff like, I don't know, the girl boss moments in Endgame, you're like, well, that's stupid.
Right.
Or, uh, but it didn't ruin the movie for me, but it didn't make
No.
me interested in what was to come. Because those characters I wasn't interested in as much as some of the core characters that we had seen grow from the beginning of the MCU. So, you know, I listen to stuff and then I take it with a grain of salt and then put my opinion on it.
Yeah, and you're entitled to your if everyone else hated it but you liked it, that's okay.
Oh, it's absolutely okay. I mean, we can always talk about the most polarizing thing in the States is politics. And
Yeah.
I, it is what it is. Everyone's gonna have a different opinion. And I also think that's what makes the world like pretty cool.
Yeah. I grew up on, my brother and my uncle are big comic collectors. I wasn't like super involved with it, but I grew up with all that in my background. And I watched a lot of the Marvel movies, Star Wars, all that stuff. And I like that stuff, but I don't take it as seriously as like many other people. It almost seems like it's a whole business behind like, you know, what's the next one coming out, and am I going to hate it or not because it's going to have some politics in it, right? And I try to
Yeah.
avoid that typically.
Yeah, and I think it's just the idea of using original IPs,
Yeah.
and subverting the story to put your own ideology in it and taking
Yes.
away from that story. And it's like, just make your own stories if you want to do that. Don't take something that people have loved for 30, 40 years of their life and change it to make it your own, to make a modern perspective and not honor what had come before.
I like how you said that, and I agree like 1,000%. And when it's when it's like super obvious when they do it, like change cartoon characters like culture or something,
Mhm.
it's like so strange. I try to go to them anyway and like just try to enjoy it for what it is, but I can definitely see why people like, especially if it's something near and dear to their childhood, and they're like, okay, let me go watch this new
Mhm.
one, and then it's like, hey, right?
That's not how this person would act based on
Yes.
what I've seen before. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So it is a bit of a contentious world. Do you ever have to like you don't worry about navigating that at all? It's just easy for you.
uh, I I would probably be called someone who's typically middle ground for
Mm-hmm.
most of my opinions, if you wanna call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also don't get bothered when people are like, "Why didn't you say something? You're Asian, blah, blah, you should have said something," to like, when we were talking about Blue Beetle and the phrase, "Let's talk about it," became so polarizing, like, people were coming after, the panel about this, that, and they're racist, and, I mean, I got a little bit, I'm like, people can say what they want. They're allowed to. You might not like it, but that's
Yeah.
also what's called free speech.
Which is like the most important thing to a free society, right?
Mhm.
You got to be able to.
So
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just curious about that because I see like it's literally on my TV right now, and I'm like it's a big part of modern culture nowadays, and
Mhm.
it almost seems like trying to think of the best way to put it, but like I swear they do it on purpose now. They like just to get like the engagement online. They get much more people talking about the movies online just because
Maybe.
they do stuff like that. But maybe I'm crazy.
We'll never know unless we're in those marketing rooms.
For sure, for sure. So about Gary, so you're like new to all this stuff and all in
Yes.
this world, and these guys are like hardcore veterans of this
Yes.
world. Do you ever get a little imposter syndrome, like well, you feel like
Never.
no, they've
No.
been super welcoming, or
They've been super welcoming. I've been very honest with people. I didn't really watch a lot of movies. I didn't watch a lot of TV shows.
hmm
I was so busy in my childhood and into adulthood. I hung out with a lot of my friends and did a lot of hobbies and, went
hmm
camping and kind of was more outdoorsy than someone
hmm
who watched a lot of, television. And the good thing, oh, well, great thing about it is like I get to watch all these great shows and
Mm-hmm.
movies that I have never watched. Like I watched Indiana Jones for the first time, like
That's
in
awesome.
2021, 2022, and just getting a fresh perspective. People will like I used to do these streams a lot where I would watch and you'd see my reaction to the movie or the show.
Mm-hmm.
And people know verbatim what scene and where you are
Right.
with all that. And I think they like seeing a reaction because that it's like watching a gamer. You know what's
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen in the game, and they do the thing, and you're like, ah, I got scared at that part too, or that part was amazing. So it's cool to be able to see fresh perspectives on something that they love.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see people doing that with like songs and stuff, like first time hearing this Metallica song or whatever. But I never really thought about it in perspective of like old movies and stuff. But that's true. You're getting to watch all this stuff that was cherished by
Amazing.
by people's childhood. And you get to watch it for like the first time.
Yes.
And I actually think that brings and gives you an interesting perspective and balance to the sort of nerdrotic universe, right?
And like people love sharing. You one of the things that we say often is say give us an anime recommendation and the chat just goes shh. uh but they've been so supportive. They know that I'm not a huge nerd. It's only starting to kind of click a lot of the stuff like the repetitive nature, the names that they put out.
Hmm.
There's still a
Hmm.
ton of movies I need to see, but, it definitely is a big difference from 2020 when I entered the world.
Got it. Yeah, Brittany's getting a crash course in ancient alternative history
Oh
and
gosh,
UFOs and stuff through
I'm
us as
still there,
well.
girl.
I didn't even know any of this stuff like existed before I was
Better
brought
you
onto here.
but you don't really, like, look into it, right? If it's not, like, the Egypt SAR data, that was probably, like, the biggest thing in this world to come out, and, like, a lot of people were talking about it, even my, like, friends were talking about it, so,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's not mainstream
Hmm.
for
It's
whatever
not. Sometimes it breaks in there, like with the SAR scan stuff, and that really went viral fast.
Mhm.
Um, so how did you guys? Was it connection through George Howard and through Cosmic Summit? Is how
No.
Gary got into bringing these guys on the show, or how did?
No.
Okay,
Uh, Gary has been a huge fan of Art Bell back
okay,
in the
awesome.
days, so he would be listening to the show, and, I mean, he also read, like, a lot of books and was
Hmm.
very into UFOs and
Hmm.
following all that, so he's been in it for 30 plus years,
Hmm. Hmm.
and he's always wanted to do a show like, Forbidden Frontier,
Okay.
and so it was like his, passion project, his baby,
Hmm.
um, for kind of doing concurrently with, like, the pop culture, and then he wants to into retirement, whatever that ends up looking like, to still do the Forbidden Frontier stuff because then it's more, you know, uh, the more not that pop culture isn't exciting, but, like, it gets his, like, you know, excitement way more than thinking a woke TV show or movie.
Right. 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 Yeah, I'm very passionate about that stuff too, and I've been into as soon as you said Art Bell and all stuff, then I feel like Gary and I could hang out.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so so you're just getting like into this world
Yes.
recently, like the last couple of years. Is there like any particular guest that he's had on? Like I know you guys have had a bunch of like I watched Archaic Lens the other night, or Randall
Mhm.
Carlson's been on the show. Is there any like guests that have been like just blown you away? You're like, whoa, that changed my perspective
Blown me
totally.
away. Okay. I love George. Not just on like as a guest, but
Me
like
too.
talking in person. Like
Yeah.
he can go on and on about any topic
Yes.
and it's awesome. So I think one of my favorite conversations at Cosmic Summit was it was like myself, Garrett, George, and Micah Hanks. And
Hmm.
we were just talking about anything and everything. And it was just, fun because it could go anywhere. the conversation. So, I mean, topic wise, everyone has their specialty, but then when you get like someone who is kind of a little bit of jack of all trades, you can go anywhere. And I mean, George is just such a great conversationalist. Like
He
his
is.
mind wanders in a like not in a bad way where he doesn't finish thoughts. He always finishes thoughts, but he topically can go like this and go kind of circle, and then goes on.
Yeah,
And I enjoy that.
I do too. He's quite the character. He's been on our live stream a couple of times, and my favorite thing from Cosmic Summit with him personally was, I think it was on the first night. Yeah, it was Friday night. They had that Pilot Mountain thing that some people went to.
It.
Yeah, I
I'm
went
so
to
sorry.
it. It was amazing. But you had work to do, which
Yeah, I
we'll get
did.
into. But we had the Pilot Mountain thing, and then there was the party going on, right? And I had to make the choice to do Pilot Mountain and then go right to the party to kind of socialize and network and whatever. So I didn't get to eat, and there was no. Well, no, but
okay,
what happened was I was like, hungry, and this happened to a lot of people. Apparently, I didn't know that I was the only person that happened to, and so George walks up to me literally out of nowhere in the middle of the party, and he's like, "Did you eat?" And I was like, no. And then he looks at somebody standing next to me. Did you eat? And they're like, no, I had to make time to come here and do Pilot Mountain. He's like, we need pizzas, 20 pizzas. And he's like swinging his finger in the air, and he walks off. We need 20 pizzas. And I was like, that's so George Howard.
I love that. He's such a caring human being.
Yeah, he wants everyone to have a good time.
Yes, good time, educated. There's obviously a business aspect, but he wants to make sure everyone's still, within his power he can do everything he can so that people are just having fun.
Right, exactly. And man, that was fun. That was a fun weekend, wasn't it?
It was insane. I had so much fun.
Yeah. How did that happen? So it was Johanna James last year. She did a great job. I knew she wasn't going to be doing it this year. Yeah, she's pregnant, which is exciting, and so she's taking care of that. And all of a sudden, I think they made the announcement 2 weeks before, maybe
2 weeks before. George texts me, or actually, did he call me? One of the two, and it's just like, "Hey, can we have a conversation?" I was like, okay, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I always hate when that happens. You're like so nervous.
Yeah. Dun dun dun.
And he asks, we get on a call, and he asks, like, would you be interested in emceeing? And I go, I mean, I love emceeing. I think emceeing is fun. But George, I'm gonna be honest with you, because this was basically me and pop culture 2021, 2022.
Right.
I don't know everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I might need like a little blurb on some people who are just not familiar with their work. Whereas, like, I mean, George and Micah, who were also doing emceeing, like they know everyone. It was impressive. They're saying names, and I don't know who they are. And I'm like, okay. So I just need a little brush up. Otherwise, like it was really fun to do and meet different people and go to talks. Albeit, I loved and hated the format of the mornings because there were too many rooms to want to be in at the same time.
Correct. I had the same problem.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, but I also would feel bad if I left the room that I was emceeing, blah, blah, blah. And so it was an internal struggle that I put on myself. But I had a lot of fun doing it. It was a great experience. And we'll see next year if Johanna can come back. Otherwise, I would be open to it. I just want to enjoy and have fun and watch the presentations regardless.
So if you don't MC next year, will you come back to the conference anyway?
Of course.
Yeah, it was,
oh my God.
It was a blast, right?
I just wanted to like go to all the different talks and talk to people, because I mean, also doing like the producing job aspect of it, meeting people, and like Garrett and Gary, I love them. They're so sweet. They're like, they don't like put themselves forward like I would, maybe just to talk to people. But I enjoy just being like, hi, who are you? What do you do? What's this? I'm new to this. Tell me more. I also don't have that, like, I guess the fangirl aspect too. Maybe some people would have. Yeah, which is kind of fun. They're all
That
normal humans.
that makes sense. For the most part, I don't fanboy, but in certain scenarios, I do. Like with Robert Schock, I was like, I always
Oh,
feel
he's
like a
so
giant dork
sweet.
around. I know he's the sweetest guy ever, but I always feel like a huge dork around him just because I've been following his work since like, I don't know, literally 30 plus years. And so it's been weird for me. But I'm like Gary and Mike is similar, where like we don't necessarily put ourselves out there. So having Brittany there, she made so many connections and made us take pictures with people that we were scared to talk to and stuff like that. So
Oh,
it was,
you go, girl.
yeah, she's the best. So you guys do have that in common as well, because she was like, Brittany was out there like a boss. She was like doing her thing out there. Um,
I love
but
that.
Me too, me too. So what was do you have like a favorite moment, favorite presentation, or just something that stuck out with you
Ooh.
from Cosmic Summit?
Well, okay. I literally thought the Knights Templar wasn't a real thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. I spent some time talking with Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had his books kind of on the table.
Uh-huh.
And that was really cool to learn, and the tablet that he had, the replica,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and just the journey from Europe to America and the
Mm-hmm.
possibilities from these stories. And I mean, I would love to do a deeper dive into it, because I got like a very light overview, I think,
Right.
of what it is. And plus there's that alchemy side part to it, that you
Yes.
can make these like concoctions. Are they real? I mean, I'm a skeptic always,
Mm-hmm.
but if I learn the scientific approach on how the valence electrons do the jump, in order to, I forgot the words that was said, but yeah, anyway, so I know it has to do something with electrons and like color changes and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, with Chinese medicine, it was all like magic until it was science. So maybe
Yeah.
it is what it is with that. We just don't understand it fully.
I'm the same way with that side of it. I don't, not, I'm skeptic just generally, but like, that part I don't particularly understand. But I love Scott. He's super charismatic and like fun to talk to.
Mhm.
And so I think I saw you in his and Tim's
Tim's, yeah. Yeah, I was in
on
that room.
Monday.
The
Yeah.
3-hour one.
Yes.
It was really good. And I guess like Tim has the more like the alchemy side, so I'm just more
Yes.
curious on that. And uh got to look for more videos, I guess. And maybe there has to be more research on that aspect of alchemy. I don't know how you figure that out though.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to do a dive on Scott, though, his show America Unearthed is really really good. And then they do.
Mhm.
If you want to do a dive on the Knights Templar, him and Tim have a show on Gaia
Oh.
that you can watch. But I don't have a Gaia subscription, so I've
Okay.
never
Okay.
actually watched
I'll
it.
have to
But
take a look, because
Scott's always my favorite, though.
he's
Every
so
year.
charismatic, and
Yeah.
he seems wonderful. And I mean, talking to him on Monday night, that was really fun. Like, he seems like he's had a wild life, that one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He has, and he's one of those guys who's going to like literally keep doing this till he drops dead. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
so.
Like he really likes this a lot. Um, and so yeah, Scott was a good one. He was my favorite as well. Any others? Any others that stuck out? Any moments that were
That
like?
stuck out. I mean, I always like Malcolm Lecomte's
Hmm.
Younger Dryas lecture, and then
Yes.
what else? I enjoyed Uncharted X, Ben,
Yes.
when he was talking about the Egypt and stuff that was like under some of the different like structures, and he was saying there was like some tic tac like structure under one of
Hmm.
them, and
Hmm.
we're like, oh, metallic?
Mm.
How? Why? What is that?
Hmm.
Could it
Hmm.
be aliens? I have no idea. I just like saying aliens because it's polarizing.
Yeah, me too. But I want it to be aliens that built all that stuff. But I think it's like
That
I
would
think
make
what's
sense.
most likely is that it was like a civilization that we just didn't know anything about that was wiped out. Which is to me, that's why I'm into this stuff. That's like the thing I think about like literally
Mhm.
while I'm like going for a walk or doing the dishes or something, I'm literally thinking about, wow, I wonder what that was like back then. So that's why this conference is so cool.
Well, and like it connects you with so many different people, whether
Yes.
it's like people who are just like observers, or people who are actually doing the research, or commentators on the research. There's such a variety of human beings, like from all walks of life. And as Gary puts it, this is how you get the UFO people, the crystal people to come together, and somehow
Yes.
they could coexist.
Yeah, that is a good way to put it. That's hilarious, because I'm pretty sure there was people selling
Yes,
crystals,
there
and there
was.
was a few UFO people, and yeah,
Yep. Stuff
awesome.
with like magnets that like help make your body feel better, which weirdly, I don't know if it was just just in my head, but maybe it was feeling better. Who knows?
You know what you guys should check out next year is Contact in the Desert. It's like
Oh,
this
they've
giant.
been.
They've been
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
the
yeah,
boys
yeah.
have
Okay,
been. I haven't been yet.
got
That's
it.
in like Arizona, California, or something like that, right?
It's in Palm Springs, yeah, in
Mhm.
California. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Mike and I went there this year for the first time, and it was wild too. I didn't have as much fun at that one as I did at Cosmic Summit, because I know a bunch of people at Cosmic Summit.
Mhm.
But yeah, you should, if you want to like get like a massive dose of like the UFO world, go check that one out next time they go.
I'll have to take a look.
Are you into UFOs at all?
Getting slowly into it. I've been listening to more podcasts and like reading articles, because I was talking with Mike a little bit, and like his online journal, the
Mm-hmm.
debrief has a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of stuff, and from like science to the UFO to like space and whatnot. So I try I try to take a look just to actually see if there's any news, trying to be a bit more forward thinking, and then
Mm-hmm.
reading
Mm-hmm.
the articles. So I did see a meteorite once fall, and that was kind of cool
Nice.
in North Carolina when I was driving last year. And I thought it was a UFO at first.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. Well, it fell from the sky. It was green. And then that's when it like uh to my friend who I was talking to, and there was like, yeah, it was probably a meteorite, not a
Let's
UFO.
go with UFO instead.
It could have been. Well, at the time it was a UAP, unidentified anomalous,
Exactly. That's why they changed the name, right?
Exactly. So to me it's a UAP, I suppose.
Well, I know that you're kind of getting into like older pop culture stuff. Gary strikes me as an X-Files guy. Is
Yeah,
he?
he watches X-Files. He's
Okay.
rewatching it right now, actually. Or
Him and
he
I could
watched
be
it once or
pals.
twice.
Yeah, because I love the X Files, like my favorite show of all time. If I may, I would suggest that you watch it as well. It's a little bit of a commitment, though. Okay. Um,
There's a bunch of shows I need to watch: Star Trek, DS9,
oh yeah, you
Babylon
do.
5, X-Files, Buffy, Angel, like just off the top of my head for TV shows. But right now I'm watching a reality show called The Challenge. You just got to get out of the way.
What's that?
It's a MTV show. It's basically you got the social game, but then also a bunch of challenges and eliminations. Um, and I like watching like them do some crazy stuff. Like one of the challenges they did, they had to like hotwire car, and then the car went off the side of the cliff, and then they had to swim a 500-meter swim
Mm-hmm.
as fast as they could. So, some really crazy stuff like that.
But the point is you've got like a long list of stuff that you're supposed to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while, but it's fine. I've got
Well,
time.
those old shows all have like 20 plus episodes a season and stuff like
Mhm,
that. And it's a like X-Files has not nine seasons, I believe,
mhm.
with like 2 or 3 movies and like
Yep.
20 plus episodes a season. So you've got
Like,
your work
trust
cut out for
me.
you.
Star Trek in general, like, they have a lot of spin-offs of it
Yes.
as well, so and they have, like, what, 6 movies?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's a lot. I know. I'll get there eventually.
You'll get there, but I know I read that you watched and liked Firefly. How did you get into Firefly?
So I actually watched Serenity, like, years and years ago.
The
I didn't know that
movie.
it was linked. to
Yeah.
Firefly.
Uh-huh.
And so when I was kind of integrating myself into this pop culture world, this was one of the, I guess, staples
Yes.
of what not to do when you release a show, because this was a great
Yes.
show, but because the episodes were mixed up, people weren't like enjoying it as much. So when I watched the show, I was like, holy crap. I wish there was a second season. Maybe not right now, but back in the time when it was
Right.
filmed, it really deserved a second season. But I'm glad the movie ended up kind of wrapping it up really nicely. But you know, people always want more, especially if it's good. And it should have been
Yeah.
one of those.
You did it backwards because I was planning on asking you like after like did Serenity wrap it up like appropriately for you after getting cut off, because we all watching it live, it was like, okay, no more Firefly, and we're like, no, we need to know what happens, right? And then
Mhm.
they thankfully put out Serenity, and I thought it was a good wrap up. Sounds like you did too.
Yep. It absolutely was. And I mean, there's shows that they never get renewals, and you're like, but please. But then you get shows that these days that have like second and third seasons. Like, why? I thought it wasn't popular. I understand where this money's coming from.
Yeah, and I find I'll watch like a new show on, I don't even have Netflix anymore, but it happens on Netflix and things like that, where it's like it's a great first season. You're like, oh, this is great, and then they make the second season and it's trash.
Oh, it's the Netflix curse.
Yeah,
Always precocious about the second season.
yeah,
Always.
and they'll either not make one for a really good show, or they'll make one for a show that wasn't that good, and it'll be even worse. It's like, oh, I don't get it. It
But
must be about
why?
money.
No. Who knows how they run their businesses? Apparently they have a lot of money just throw away.
Apparently. So I wanted to get into a little bit about the you became a Twitch partner in 2022.
Mhm.
That and so was that like a goal for you when you set out to start
Oh,
Twitch? And like, what's Twitch streaming like? And like, talk to us about that.
ooh. It was a goal for me at the time because I was mainly just streaming on Twitch, if not only streaming on Twitch at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I finally was able to make partner, you get a couple little benefits and whatnot from going from affiliate to partnership. And then uh seeing how Twitch had their practices with some streamers, they're very picky and choosy on who they favor. There was at one point a controversy around when I got partnership that I forgot which streamer said this, but they said something about like cracker, and that was apparently a derogatory term, racist. I think I don't remember what the context they were using it, but then they got banned. There's people, it's in their like terms of service. What you do off the platform also matters. So you can get banned for something that you do on Twitter or on YouTube or whatnot. There's people who apparently have sex on camera, and like you can see it in like the mirror, and they get suspended and come back in a couple days. They're it's a very strange practice that they have, but they also have a lot of they have some staff that seems a little dodgy. I remember the Deer Girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's, a part of their team, and you're like, well, that doesn't seem right 100% if you can't. I mean, I don't know their work, but their work that they were showing online was a bit sus.
I'm not really involved in that world at all. We just actually started streaming on Twitch like a few weeks ago, doing our live streams on Twitch.
Yeah.
But I was watching a YouTube video the other day about like girls who do like hot tub streaming. They stream from hot tubs. Have you heard of this?
Hot tubs, showers,
Oh, wow.
pools. So, if we want to get into the evolution of the e-thought, so to speak,
We do, yes.
how to do the over sexualization of your content but still do gaming. There's been a lot of little small eras of trying to give that kind of content that probably shouldn't be on a platform with children. So I remember I was doing a show with a a fellow colleague, Blabbering Collector, where she just basically like commented on some of these random girls' live streams. They would be doing like exercise in very little clothing, be in bikinis, showering in bikinis, trying to push the limit, writing people's names on their arms who donate a lot. Doing squats, but with their butt to the camera or whatever. There was a meta that they were doing at one point where they were wearing like green shorts or a green bra and like using that as the green screen for their game. And then there was another one where they would put black boxes in like their parts.
Wow.
To like look like they're naked. And it's just Twitch, a lot of the e-thoughts will try and push just so that they can maybe funnel people to their OF or Fansly. And it worked clearly because Amaranth did it and she got a lot of subs.
That's who I watched a thing about. There's this show I watch on YouTube called Patrick CC, and he covers stuff like that, or he covers a bunch of stuff. But that's why I didn't even know who Amaranth was.
Yeah,
and that's how I found out about this.
They were doing ASMR with like binaural microphones with ears, and they'd be like licking it as if they were like,
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, you're like, I don't like that practice either. Yeah. And that's okay to Twitch.
Apparently. So that's what's so strange. So what they're doing is they're straddling the line. That's pun intended. Pun not intended, but worked out. But they're straddling the line between the content rules and like over sexualizing their content to get more views and then funnel to OF.
Eventually, which I think is the end goal for most of them. I can't say all of them.
Sure. E-thoughts. I've never even heard that term before. This is the first time I've heard the term e-thought. So
okay. Thought means that hoe over there.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I do know what that means, but I hadn't made that connection. But so the first time you said e-thought, I was like, okay, I need to hear about this. With the second time you said it, I was like, oh, I get what she's saying. Yeah. Okay. So how's your approach to engaging with your Twitch audience kind of evolved over time?
Do what I like doing. Probably being very silly. I encourage my chat to make fun of me.
Okay.
Which they do. And I want to have fun. That's the reason I do this. Obviously, besides making money and all that, but that's not like the primary. The primary is to entertain, so to speak. But I also want to be entertained. That's selfish of me, I know. But
nah.
I have I say phrases that end up becoming sound bites, and I think they enjoy that part about me. Which I haven't done this stream. I'm very proud of myself.
You haven't said any of your famous sound bites?
No, but it could happen still. I'm in a more professional setting right now.
Why don't we just do one? Can you tell it, like, what's your most famous soundbite that went like the most viral?
Oh no, well, I'll just do the most recent. So the crocheting thing, I had sent out the last blanket to a viewer who had won the bid on it. I was in North Carolina, so I wasn't in my home. I didn't know where to go and buy boxes, so I just took one of my friend's boxes and retaped it all. It looked really crappy. So they're joking that I was sending my shoebox to them, and my shoebox is battered and beaten. And I'm like, it's what's on the inside of my shoebox that counts, not the outside. Just little things like that.
And then so there's somebody's probably cataloging. There's a whole list of them somewhere.
Oh, I have something called blurps. People can like throw $1 and they'll play the soundbite on stream.
Awesome.
Of my streams. So you could hear a variety of different things, mostly embarrassing, but it's fun.
I'm gonna have to go through. Maybe you did drop one, and we can pull one out of this interview. I don't know.
Maybe. One of my mods, he is famous for clipping sound bites, and I love him for it.
Awesome. And so with the Twitch thing and the producer thing and all this stuff going on, do you have like plans or visions, or a vision board for the future of Xray Girl, or are you just going with the flow?
I have like a right now plan, and I think I have plan A, B, C, D, whatever. So within the next few months, I'm just looking at we have like these trips, these events and whatnot, and kind of working my life around it. Long term, if we're going like interview style, 5 years, 10 years, I have no idea. I have to see where this goes. And I mean, is pop culture going to be something that is a huge thing over the next couple of years? No idea. Is gaming and live streaming still going to be a thing in 5-10 years? Like it started what, 10, 15 years ago, and
Right.
it is completely saturated now. So I have no idea where it's going to go. I'm just going to enjoy it while I can. It could end even tomorrow. And I mean, I have Xray to go back to. So I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just going with the flow then, and it could, hopefully it doesn't, knock on wood, but it could end tomorrow, even the Xray thing, with a younger Dryas impact that
Oh, I've lived a very great life. I'm okay dying tomorrow. It's fine.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I feel like I still got shit to do, but I guess if it's coming, it's coming.
Yeah. Overall, I'm happy. I think if I was in like a sad, dark place, a little different, but
Yeah, I think it's a good way to look at it though, because the future is so very uncertain with AI and with quantum computing coming up and different things like that. The world is going to look way different in 10 years. So hanging on to and clinging to things is not going to be helpful. I don't
think. My gosh. I guess the if I had a word to say for my future, I diversify. I want to be able to do a lot of different things. And what those things are, I don't know 100%.
I love that though, because you're not boxing yourself into anything in particular. You're not doing the same thing every single day. You're open to trying new things in the future. And you're doing that. Like the Nerdrotic thing has got you into the pop culture, which is then taking you into this alternative history world. And that's just starting. So you're going to become part of that community. And it's just an adventure, right?
Absolutely. And I'm here for it.
Cool. So speaking of adventures, so you're getting into these ancient history tops and stuff. You're mentioning trips. Are you guys going to visit any of these sites?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to Egypt with Wandering Wolf and the whole Forbidden Frontier crew.
Nice.
In November, and freaking pumped for it. I get to see some of the most monumental structures in the world. Like pretty much everyone should know that the pyramids exist. And so that'll be really fun. I don't know if I'm tacking on any other trips in the future, at least with Forbidden Frontier. But I know they, meaning Forbidden Frontier, they want to do like little things in America or even in Canada, like go to some haunted houses or this area, Cartwrights or the mounds or Sage Wall, things like that. It'd be kind of fun to see and experience. Like I wish I knew about this world back in the day, because like I've traveled to so many different places, and there's things that I could have totally went and seen. Like Ireland has, a couple little structures here and there, right? I was in Argentina and Chile. I don't know if there's anything there, but I'm sure there probably is. It's
there
pretty
definitely
big piece of
is.
land.
There definitely is. We have an episode coming out literally in 2 hours with an Irish dude who covers that, the Irish Follies. He also has a pyramid, a really interesting pyramid function theory, but he covers all these Irish structures. So it's interesting that you mentioned that. It's somewhat of a synchronicity. But yeah, that's coming out in a couple hours. You should check it out.
I will.
Yeah. Have you been to Vietnam? There's a bunch of stuff there too.
And yet again, that was in 2016, 2015. So I didn't know about this ancient civilization stuff back in the day, but Vietnam is hella old. Oh my God.
Yeah. It doesn't get enough cred either. Like in this world, there's so much stuff going on there that like doesn't get enough light shed on it. Maybe you guys should take a trip there and
Oh my gosh.
cover some of that stuff.
I have no idea where we're gonna go if we ever go to Asia. Like there could be like the Barabar caves, the pyramids in China.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we could see. It's just time.
Time, money, commitments, all that stuff, right? So as we like wrap things up, I wanted to bring up your YouTube channel quick. I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel till this morning because you do so many different things. I was like, actually has a YouTube channel too. What's going on here? It's a little bit of a different flavor than everything else you're doing. It's more a representation of you as an individual. Does that sound right?
Yes. So of course I do the gaming on there. It's mostly a live stream channel. The videos, let's just say I haven't put a lot of effort in my videos, but I have morning roasts, which is also a podcast that we have talking about like kind of more of a normie perspective of Hollywood and pop culture and just commentating on that. It was meant to be kind of the morning show that you hear when you're driving into work and people kind of like joking around, just lighthearted. And I love that. And then I game with a lot of my friends throughout the day or the week, which is fun. And then Sundays I have like my crafting stream, which started out doing Warhammer painting. I don't have enough room here to have like a dedicated desk to painting. So I've been just doing mostly like crocheting and little projects here and there so that people can watch. So yeah.
Got it. In your description, you mentioned food and workouts as well. So.
Oh gosh, I haven't done that in a long time. Maybe I should update that. I mean, I ate food on my last stream on Morning Roast. We were eating some like strange, not from Canada or America snacks. So that was
would you mentioned food a handful of times since we've been talking. Would you consider yourself a foodie?
Yes. I love good food. It doesn't matter how cheap or expensive. If it's good food, I'll enjoy it, type of thing.
Got it. Are you a poutine girl?
I mean, I don't eat poutine often,
Oh, no.
but I do like poutine.
I'm a bit obsessed with it, but only because you can't get it here. So every time I go to Canada, I'll have poutine like 5 times, and then I'll be sick for a week.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, you can make poutine like gravy down there is pretty good, depending on where you are, and then you could get cheese curds or even halloumi is like a nice little alternative to cheese curds because it's kind of squeaky.
Yeah. I'll make it down here, but for some reason it never feels like the same. Like
Doesn't
if you're
hit right.
Yeah, like if you're in Montreal and you go to like one of the spots there, it's not the
the
same thing.
Breakfast poutine, also another one of my favorites. Oh my god, eggs, sausages,
yes,
bacon.
With cheese, yes, with cheese curds, awesome. So I've just been really fun. I was, to be fair, I was a little bit nervous about this episode. I normally don't. Because when I was looking, I was like, because I'm coming at this from the ancient history UFO world, and that's how I got introduced to you. And I'm looking at all your stuff, and I'm like, whoa, she does all kinds of cool stuff. So I was like, I was like, normally don't get that way for these, but I was a little bit nervous for you for some reason. So, but I feel like it went well.
Yeah, and actually, I told Brittany that when she was like, "We'd love to have you on," I was like, "But like, I don't know how much like." I can actually talk about some of these, like, ancient history and UFO stuff topics. So, like, I might not be a good candidate. And I'm glad it wasn't awkward in that sense.
Yeah, no, to be fair, that's not all we do on the show. When we first started the show, it was more like, let's talk to interesting people about their interesting lives. And just because and Mike and I both like that stuff. And then the Cosmic Monday series we did, where we were interviewing people from the summit, kind of happened. It just kind of spiraled in that way. But we're going to get more into that like just talking to other people, not just necessarily in this world, because we really just want to hear interesting stories from interesting people like yourself who have an interesting and fun life. And so that's cool. And I think the theme of this is like, maybe you could add or correct me, but it's like, have fun with your life, do something that makes you happy. Don't take yourself too seriously, and, be open to new things, right? That's Xray Girl.
Absolutely. with some responsibility in the world, of course.
Yes. Awesome. So we're going to link all your stuff down below. But thanks so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
It was an honor and a pleasure. So take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
You can stay. We'll talk to you
I was
there
like,
for-